Dads worldwide. The first word in family management, family budgeting, insurance, bills, food, vacations, research and development, homework, emails, phone calls. Last week we tried to do an oil change and ended up with a new car. Security. Doors are locked, windows shut, house alarm is set. Fingerless gloves. Dads worldwide. Loyal listeners, possibly you.
Welcome to another episode of Dads Worldwide. We will make you laugh. We might make you cry. Most certainly, somehow, some way, trying to make you a better parent. I am your most undead host, Brendan. Thank you, Captain Aviators and Chris Green, for taking over. Much appreciated. Captain Aviators, take it away.
It is I, the 17-time Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast champion, not Joe Felger, quadruple soldier, bloodmaster, Cyrus himself, an international sex kitten, and an ordained minister in the Church of Dudology, Tony fucking G, back again.
Of course, he is the host of Everything Gravity Beard, Chris Green.
Hey, fellas.
Hey, buddy.
It never fails to make me chuckle. Like, I've got this stupid, rehearsed, long, thought-out, self-appointed title introduction, and then, hey, fellas.
Hey. Mr.
Odely.
Mr. Handy. Howdy.
Yeah.
Howdy.
Well, I've only won 12 times, so I mean, I have nothing to brag about.
Right.
Yeah.
I get it. It sounds lame in comparison. I understand.
Yeah. It does. Anything I could list from my resume sounds lame in comparison.
I guess we should switch it up. Maybe switch to Chris first and then Aviators.
I don't think so. No.
Okay. All right. Hey, listen, I'm just spitballing here.
Yeah, you got to save the most bombastic for last. Yeah.
I will add this, though. So you did mention that I'm the host of All Things Gravity Beard, which is true.
Mm-hmm.
And I am pleased to give some brief updates, maybe a brief update, however you want to call it. So Josiah was in the studio with me yesterday.
Love Joe.
And we've cranked out a number of things. We've got a new episode. Actually, you know what? Also, I recorded with my children. So we've got 3 or 4 Ask It Anything episodes coming. 3 with the kids, one with Jeffrey. We did an apartment episode. Good news on the apartment is that we used to be discussing polls from years ago. We just discussed deaths that just happened weeks ago. So we spent several months hard charging up the audio Mount Everest, and we have completely caught up. We've done like 40 or 50 episodes to do it. And so we're caught up on that project. And let me think, what else did we do? We should be having another pop culture project coming in a few weeks, but here's something that I sprung on him. That was a surprise that I actually tipped you off to, Brendan.
Yep.
I recorded with him a brand new episode of This Week Today.
Right. Yep. Yes.
Which I told you I was going to do that, and I thought you would be excited. This is what I got through an emoji from you.
Yeah. Just one singular thumbs up response.
Thanks for letting me know.
Yeah.
I was a little busy. And I was also disappointed that I was not the first person you thought of for this week. No lie to you. Yep. Because it was scheduled to be on This Week Today, and then he canceled the show.
Right.
That's actually
well, I mean, I see the correlation.
Yeah. So then he's like, "Hey, don't worry, I brought it back with Josiah, and I'm sure you're gonna love this." And what do I do? To be like, "Oh man, thanks for spitting in my eye.
Yeah,
thumbs up."
I mean, that's one way to characterize it. But I will tell you. I mean, I don't know if I brought it up on the show before. I'm pretty sure I have.
Yeah,
have dealt with some pretty serious health issues the last few years.
Wow.
Oh, come on.
No. We
Jeez.
That's actually serious. I'm actually not joking. I actually have serious health issues. I know we're guffawing about it, but I actually have had a really rough last few years.
Yep.
And so as a result of those joyful times, I haven't released a new episode of that show since October of 2023.
Oh God, has it been that long?
Yes.
Wow.
Oh,
Yes,
does
it has.
that means I've known you that long?
Wow.
Oh, good point.
Wow. That's why I did. Yeah.
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily, because when I said I was going to bring it back, it might have been after a gap there, and then I ended up not bringing it back.
Oh, okay. Maybe.
That's possible. Because as you know, gentlemen, I can't get into the details on the show, but some other things came up. Some other things came up after that. It kind of sidelined me from most of my podcasting activities.
A lot of things, stuff and things.
I've just had a lot going on personally, is all I'm saying.
Clearly, yeah.
And to tease the listener, there is a time in the future where I might be less cryptic about those things. That day is not today.
It's not today. So
that day's not today.
Don't click off. Don't click off. There's
Yeah,
plenty of good
yeah.
stuff to come yet, folks.
Well, really what I'm doing is advising them to keep tuning in, because you don't know what episode on which I'm going to reveal these
Right.
things.
Mhm.
So you can't miss any episodes. But all
No,
that to
that's
say,
so true.
yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
my-
Unlike Brendan, who missed the last episode.
that's right. That's right. So just listen, I've got some good content coming of all varieties on Gravity Beard. And if you keep tuning in, there may be a point in the future where I reveal deeply personal things about myself.
Yeah, Jamie asked me if you were going to talk about it, and I said no. He's not ready. He's not ready. It's too soon. Too soon.
Yeah, well, listen, if people want to sign up for Patreon
All right.
and you want to set up a Patreon,
Yeah.
we might.
That second part's going to be harder.
Right. But should you decide to set up a Patreon, and should I decide that I want to share these deeply personal things way too soon via Patreon, you might possibly be able to hear it there.
Right. Or Brendan's feet pics. Lots of cool things in
Right.
there.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
Feedback.
here's a. I'll just tip the listener off a little bit further.
Mm.
Should things in my life personally take a noticeably turn for the better, which currently that's not happening, but should that happen, that's going to be the catalyst for me being a little more sherry, a little more open, a little more transparent. Either way, if things actually start to improve, that's what's going to cause it. So just listen closely. Listen closely. Right now, things aren't going that great. If you start to gather hints that, hey, things are kind of going okay for Chris, then you know it could be coming. Maybe a harbinger. There's harbingers.
There we go.
I love the caveat. That's great.
There's going to be foreshadowing. He's telling you there's going to be foreshadowing.
Yes.
I'm telling you what to look for. Things improving in my life is the harbinger for more transparency by me on the show.
That's great. Gents, you did it. You did
man.
so well as gone. Fantastic. Thank you for keeping it going. Much
No,
appreciated.
this is what I've been waiting for. No, I'm going to need way more than that. Like,
No.
I want to know.
Oh, no. I have some corrections for you.
Okay, this is what I was waiting for. Because
He's got notes.
Yeah.
we had
Well,
nothing planned for that
That's true.
episode.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Not at all.
I wish I had I was okay. So we're driving through, I think, Oklahoma at the time. I'm listening to this. It's the middle of the night.
No, wait. You're listening to it? You didn't make the whole family listen to this, right?
Oh no. I'm listening in
Okay.
my earbuds. Right. Like,
Okay.
The kids are sleeping. My wife
Okay.
has been sleeping or listening to a book. I don't know. But I was like, I'm driving. It's late at night, and
Oh, perfect.
I'm laughing, and obviously, well, for one, let's start off with number one. I'm not dead.
You're not dead. Okay.
Not dead. So there
All
we
right.
go.
Unless AI
It
Brendan.
was questionable.
Yeah.
This could be AI Brendan, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's true. StreamYard does have access to AI.
I just no, the episode was great. I mean, I like Chris said, like every time that Tony and I talk politics and he listens to the episode, I was like scream. I'm not physically screaming at my phone because I'd be waking everybody up, but I'm like, no, you forgot to talk about that. The whole time I'm like, no,
Yep.
no.
I can't be a part of this. No.
I
don't
know
know.
how I felt all those.
I don't know why, but this one thing stuck in my head was like, you're like, oh, Obama won that election, but you like never once discussed Hillary in that whole conversation. Like
Oh.
it was just like he oh just Obama came and won, and I'm like, no, Hillary was favored to win that election. That was like a complete subversion. Like it was her turn, and all of a sudden this junior senator from Chicago showed up and took that race like completely. I was like, you guys are missing this. I'm like
Yeah.
like
All right.
my head is like explode. I'm like, no. But I think that was like one of the big things that I was just like, well, I was like, wait, are they going to talk about? I'm like, no, like Hillary, like, because you guys went through the elections kind of like, oh yeah, no one
Yeah.
expected Trump to win, which was true. But yeah, no one expected Obama to win, and that's because Hillary was the front runner. Hillary was the chosen person, right? Like she was that person that was supposed to get that nod. So
It's funny because I don't even, you're saying that and you're right, but like I barely even remember her being a factor because once he kind of came on the scene, that's all they wanted to talk about. And granted, yeah, she was kind of supposed to be the Neo of that, but he was so new and such a non baggage
oh no,
factor at that point.
I'm not saying that like he didn't just take it by the haunches and
Right.
get it done, but I'm saying like she was the person. Like he just came in, I don't know if he came in late or like midway through or whatever, but like he wasn't expected to do anything. Like they was just like he was a no name. No one knew who that guy was before he ran for president.
I
I love-
did only because of Jon Stewart and the midterms that the Democrats just completely got their asses handed. Like he was the only guy that came out of that midterm as a winner for the Democrats, and that's when he blew up, and they talked about him nonstop. At least when I was watching, so
Yeah.
I remember him a lot more than I do Hillary even being a factor when it came down to it. I guess retroactively speaking.
I love the prospect of the left having to decide on the first female president or the first black
Yeah.
president.
Yeah, you see which way they went then. They wouldn't have went that way now.
Well,
Right.
I mean, they put up two people. Here, think of it this way, right? They put up two people, and whoever wins, right? Like whoever gets the most. And it was obvious that Obama was, because no one fucking likes Hillary. Like the left doesn't. Obviously, the left doesn't even like Hillary.
No,
her voice is shrill, and she's awful. She's an awful human, and everyone knows she's an awful human. Like so. Yeah.
Well, the word I like to use to describe Hillary Clinton is repellent.
Yes, of course.
She's absolutely repellent.
Of course. So I think that was the one thing that stuck out, that it's still in my brain because I listened to it after I posted it, right? Like I posted it and then that night, I think, or the night after, I listened to it. So I remember there being a couple things I'm like, oh god, I gotta remember to talk about that. And of course I don't remember. I hope. I'm like inundated. I'm like drinking through a fire hose when it comes to work right now. So, yeah. So
well, you could have done what I used to do when I wasn't on the show, and you could just cover us up in text messages. That's what I used to do. I used to, whenever I used to listen, not be able to respond, I would just,
here's my footnotes.
I'd firebomb with text messages of my comments.
Well, again, I'm driving at the time when I'm listening to it. So yeah, I would. Yeah.
I was curious what your interpretation and reaction to the tail end of the episode in real time.
I don't remember. What was the tail end? I don't remember.
Well, that's when I dipped into the old hate mail and stumbled across my literotica.
Okay, so yeah, that's right. So the reason the erotica never got listened to, right, was because you were supposed to come on the podcast, and then Jim and I were supposed to like act it out. That was the plan. That was the plan.
I do remember that.
Yeah. Because I was like, all right, Tony, you gotta come on. But then I think that was at the point when Jim kind of bailed on the pod. So everything kind of got turned around. But that was, if you go back, that's probably the only one in that year that didn't get read. I
think you're right.
the last year to 2 years is just we usually have a hate mail episode, and it got so backed up, and not really backed up because let's be serious, there's only one hate mailer, and then every now and then someone will email one. And Chris, I honestly don't remember if you emailed a hate mail. I apologize, dude.
I definitely did.
You definitely
100%.
did. I'm not saying you didn't. I'm just saying, like, I probably giggled at it and moved on, because we just at one point I'm just like, I don't even know half these hate mails, what episodes they're even go to, because the person that's hate mailing, which he's a great hate mailer, he doesn't listen to them, like he'll listen to like 3 episodes at a time sometimes, and then not listen to like for a month and a half.
Yeah.
And then he'll send an email, and I'll be like, what is this even from? And then I'll have to go back and figure it out. And yeah, it just got to the point where it was like, okay, I'm kind of like, so I guess if we got more hate mail that was actually like to the now, I would be like, okay, yeah, let's do some hate mail episodes. We haven't had a hate mail email, I can't even tell you how long. It's been a while.
I know, but that's why I really like the suggestion. I don't remember if I made it on the show or off the show, that if you have a bunch of hate mails in a file somewhere, we should still do
Just
hate
read
mail
them
episodes.
out of context. Yeah.
Completely out of context.
I agree with you completely.
I still think it'd be fun.
It would be very fun. It would be very funny. We trying to figure out where it's from, like that. I think
I enjoyed reading the one about Chris last time on the last episode, because I knew exactly what it was from.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh God, I remember this one. This is hilarious.
Yeah, well, that that one was really funny, and I know which episode that was from as well. Because I remember thinking, because I remember Chris saying, "I'm not trying to defend Donald Trump," and I'm like, we literally just argued for the last 20 minutes, defended every one of his positions.
Yeah, that was back in my wait and see days.
It was definitely.
It was.
Oh, and the other thing, so Chris said that he came around to Candace Owens.
Yep.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about that either.
I just want to say, welcome. And I feel like now I have enough information that I can say that it takes 3 to maybe 4 or 5 months where Chris and I will argue about something, and then he will actually come around to the way I think. Completely.
Has a consistent pattern been established around that?
I feel like it has.
It's a waiting game. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I think, let me just speculate on why that happens.
Okay.
I still think it's just because I do take, there's two things about me regarding these things. One, I do generally take a wait and see attitude, because it does take some real time often for these real world events to kind of play out. And so I try not to, I mean, if you ask me for an opinion in real time on the spot, I'll give it to you, but then I still want to leave the possibility open that things may change, because often it does.
Of course.
However, the other thing about me is that I can have my mind changed. You can change my mind. So I do have a set of basic principles, and those are unchangeable. I'm not going to fold on those at all. I'm not going to compromise those. But on everything else, I love robust conversation. I love thinking things out. I like talking things out, and I'm always open to you changing my mind. If you make a good case to me, and it might take some time for me to ruminate on it and meditate and decide what I think about it, but I'm open to coming around. I'm open to changing my mind. So I think maybe that's a process that keeps happening with you and I, is that you'll present me with something, and also I don't know, probably instinctively I'm skeptical and a little bit argumentative. I can own that. That's fair. So maybe my initial instinct is to argue with you if it doesn't make perfect sense to me at the time, and then I go stew on it, and we have more conversations about it, and then I process it, and then oftentimes I'll come around. So maybe that's the explanation.
I think Brennan's just wrong about almost everything, but that's just me.
But then eventually,
So then I for some reason I'd join Brendan in Wrongville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, party of two.
We all can't be normie, Tony.
What is okay?
You
What is the
could.
actual definition of normie? What does that mean? What is normie? mean?
It means that the person
T.
saying it has taken a staunch stance one way or the other, and anyone who doesn't just cater to that is a normie.
Oh, really? Okay, I thought.
Well, that's my interpretation anyway.
Is that how you use it, Brendan?
I think it's more of like someone that follows the path of like the parties, like completely. You know, like as someone, you know what I mean? Like that's how I kind of interpret it, like someone who's
okay. Well, I've recently copped to being a normie, but if that's the definition, I'm definitely not a normie.
Yeah, I feel like it's someone that like won't veer too far left, won't veer too far right, but is
Let's see what Google says.
Yeah, because I just is someone that's like kind of in the middle, but like is a kind of a fence sitter. That's how a
normie is slang for a normal, average, or mainstream person. It describes someone who embraces conventional societal standards, common social attitudes, and popular trends rather than participating in niche hobbies, underground countercultures, or internet subcultures. What is a normie in politics? It refers to an average voter or citizen who holds mainstream conventional views, avoids ideological extremes, and is generally not deeply obsessed with political drama or fringe theories. There you go.
Okay, so I resemble some of those things, but I think
moderate centrist, low information. That's the insulting part, and dislike of extremism. Fair enough.
Low information.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Wow, what a shrouded insult that is.
Yeah, that's kind of a dick. That's kind of
I think this
crazy.
I've said a few times on the show is the way I would describe. First of all, I got pulled into politics several years ago because of the Trump thing. Like it was a train wreck I couldn't ignore. So I got drug in, and here I am. But I would say now that I'm here, I think the way I've described myself, which is still the case, I don't think this is going to change, is that I take the buffet approach, and I'm open to considering any and all ideas. And I'm generally going to fall more one direction than the other. But again, if you make a good case to me, I'm not. The other way to say it is that I don't wear anybody's jersey. That's not me. I'm not a joiner. I'm not a team guy. It's I was recently not long ago, someone in our chat group tried to pin me down as to why I'm a registered Republican and not a registered independent with my current attitude. Basically, the answer there is that I'm too lazy to change my registration. That's fair. I don't care enough to change my registration, but in terms of my beliefs and how I approach politics and issues, let's hear it. Let's hear all of your ideas, and then I'm going to decide. Because I think that's an intellectually honest position and approach to take, and because you end up looking like an idiot if you say no matter what my party says, I'm going to support it. Well, what if they all of a sudden start supporting throwing babies into volcanoes?
Right.
Like you can't support that. So
yeah,
I don't know, maybe that baby's an asshole.
Right.
I know that's a cartoonist extremist example, but it illustrates the point is that your party might take a hard turn in one direction, go support something that's absurd, like starting a war that doesn't need to be started. And you might say, I'm kind of out on that particular thing.
Yeah.
So
on the flip side of that, I'm a registered nonpartisan, but mostly vote Republican. Actually, almost exclusively vote Republican.
Yeah.
Well, so I remembered another thing. Chris's love for Megyn Kelly, I do not share. She's gotten significantly better since she went off of Fox News. Like,
oh yeah, 100%.
100% better, but it's taken her time, but it's good. She's evolved. So I do appreciate that. And I don't share the love for that he has for her. Because I mean, although she's gotten more right in the last couple months than she ever has. So, I mean, before I would say like 6 months ago, she called herself like an avowed Zionist. Now she's kind of backing off of that shit. So I do appreciate that. I appreciate the fact that she will evolve and she will question even herself which is, I think, fantastic. So I would say, like, a year ago, I had no love for Megyn Kelly. Now I have way more for her. Maybe not as much as Chris, but I do appreciate the fact that she's willing to change her views, just like Tucker. Same thing. You know, they were neocons through and through, and they're changing. So I do appreciate that. I'm not saying she's awful. I'm not saying that at all. So I think I think she's way better than she was a year ago, even 2 years ago, when she was on Fox News. I mean, she was. She was what she was.
That was like 8 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. But even then, she went to what, CBS or something, or NBC, or whatever.
She went to NBC briefly, and then she got fired.
Yeah, she got fired. Yeah, because she, at least, I mean, like, probably because she would not toe their line, right? Like, I mean, let's be serious.
Well, I won't go into the whole story because it doesn't matter. But no, she, on one of the shows, she simply asked the question, when did blackface become whatever?
Yeah.
And because she's like, well, Rosie does it, and Jimmy Kimmel does it, and this and that person does it. And so her question was, when did blackface become, untouchable, because all these other people have done blackface recently.
Justin Trudeau. Yeah.
And everybody, came down on her, and she got fired. That's what she got fired over, just for asking the question. She didn't even say, hey, everybody needs to get over it. I don't have a problem with blackface.
Yeah, it should be completely acceptable. No, she didn't say that.
She literally did not express an opinion about it. She was just saying, when did this happen? I didn't know, because blah, 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 blah. Fired.
Yeah.
Now, let me just comment on Megyn Kelly just briefly.
Yeah.
The things that I like about Megyn Kelly is, she was an attorney for 10 years, so she comes at things from the perspective of an attorney, which means she wants to be evidence-based. She also comes from a place of traditional journalism, where she wants the facts to be whatever the traditional journalism, where if you don't have 2 or 3 sources that you can confirm that a thing is a thing, she won't bring it to a show, and she won't really talk about it. The other thing that I like that she'll do is she will present a thing as is, warts and everything, and then she'll tell you what she thinks about it. And if it doesn't, so I just like that approach. She just seems to approach things with a level of integrity. Now, are there issues that she takes a position on that I disagree with on? Of course, probably on a regular basis. Like, for example, and this will circle back to something else I wanted to circle back with you on, Brendan, is she became friends with Erica Kirk, and she is standing by Erica Kirk. Like, she thinks Tyler Robinson's the guy. She's defending Erica Kirk. Erica Kirk's her friend, and I think Erica Kirk is super sketch. Mm-hmm. And she's not willing to question or dig into Erica Kirk or listen to anything that Candace is saying about it. And clearly, it deserves some sort of investigation, but she won't do that because she's become close friends with Erica Kirk. So that's just an example. So there's a few other things where she's taken a position, but like you said, she'll come around on something. If she's presented with compelling evidence, again, from the perspective of an attorney and a journalist, she'll change her mind. Now, it may take some time, but she may come around on it. And so say whatever else you wanted to say, but I didn't want to blow past the Candace Owens topic. I did want to talk about her.
No, I mean, I've said what I need to say about Megyn. I think she's getting better. I do. And so I appreciate that. I actually just heard a podcast. I was listening to another podcast who were talking about her and Tucker, where they basically, he said that the headline was that they apologized to Muslims, but it wasn't really that. It was that they were like, oh, we were taught to demonize Muslims after 9/11, but that really wasn't the case. Like, that's not a thing. Muslims aren't, like, there isn't a large amount of radical Muslims that are out to get us. That's not a thing. Like, they were like, but we were led to believe that, and they bought it, and they, Tucker and Megyn were like, yeah, we were like full throated. They were like throwing that out there, and they were basically saying like, oh shit, we were wrong. Like, this wasn't a thing.
Well, clearly in some form, both of them have been red pilled the last several years.
Oh, for sure. Because because the people that are paying them are no longer telling them not necessarily what to say, but let's be serious. They were given talking points, right? Like any big network, they're getting talking points. So
Of course.
so that's not happening anymore. So now they really have to look at things. And then when they're attacked by people they thought were supporting them, just by asking questions, this whole thing, just saying, hey, like maybe this is kind of strange. And they're like, oh my God, you can't say that. You don't like Israel anymore? It's like, what? No, I didn't say that. I didn't say. So
Have you heard her talk about Israel recently?
no, like I don't listen to her show. So
Right.
like I actually get her thoughts third hand in it. So but she's questioning them and she's questioning her thoughts about them. So I don't know if she still considers herself a Zionist. Maybe she does. But yeah, she's definitely not full on board with the Israel agenda now. That's for sure. Like that.
Well,
good.
If you're familiar with Charlie's transformation on the Israel issue,
yeah,
I'm assuming you are.
Of course. Well, I am now.
Megan,
I wasn't before. When he died, I was like, oh, that dude was just full on board Zionist. Like he just loved Israel. And then all of a sudden, guess who dropped that? Candace dropped all those text messages, and guess who was saying like, no, I'm done with these people. Forget them. So, so yeah. So originally I thought I knew, but no.
Well, so basically, if you listen to her, what it sounds like is that she's taken a similar path and has arrived at the same place as Charlie had.
That's good.
Yeah.
You should question people that are telling you what to say or what to do.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But let's circle back to Candace a little bit if you want, if we've got time to do that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Because I guess we'll dovetail the two conversations because it's interesting because the other thing that Megyn Kelly really rails against is somebody telling her, hey, you should, cancel this person or cancel that person. So when Ben Shapiro, within the last few months, lost his mind because they were close friends, they would say they were. They've both influenced their own personal paths and the paths with their companies or current media ventures. And she's livid with Ben Shapiro. She wants nothing to do with him. And, he's saying, hey, you got to drop Candace. And people are telling, Megyn Kelly, hey, you need to cancel Tucker. You need to have nothing to do with Tucker. And she does not respond well to that.
Oh, that was a long time ago. That was that had to be almost a year ago. It was like a TPUSA event where Shapiro came out and just like annihilated Tucker and said that like you shouldn't be friends with him and specifically named Megyn Kelly.
Okay, so what happened is that she was on her own tour. She was doing her own tour of live shows, and she had them on back to back.
Yep,
Tucker and Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, and Shapiro came on her show and basically said she should fucking not talk to him. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And Shapiro's gone on and on and on about whatever. So Shapiro basically has a list of people within the conservative movement that we all should cancel, and clearly he's lost his mind. But what I'm getting at is it's interesting that that she's not giving a little more attention to the things that Candace is bringing up. And I don't know what that's about. I don't know if Candace is still just, I don't know. I don't know what the explanation is because so regarding Candace, and the reason I went back and the reason I went back and listened to Candace, because I hadn't in a long time. In fact, the last time I listened to Candace was when she was with the Daily Wire. That's how long it was.
Whoa.
And I went back and listened to it because my buddy, who we've discussed about having come on this show, that I think everybody would really enjoy having, he brought her up. And because he was offered the opportunity to go on her show and he declined because he doesn't want the heat. But I was like, man, because I had him over to my house because he was a guest on Real Estate Rack on Tours that'll come out next spring, and he's a fascinating guy, and he could be in all these conversations and have a lot to say about it. And the thing that's interesting about him is that he's onto these things before Candace is, before Alex Jones is, certainly before Tucker is, and certainly before Megyn Kelly is, or those types. I don't know how he does it, but by the time they get to it, he was onto it sometimes months or years before. I have no idea how he's doing it. But he gave me, I was very skeptical of that. And he gave me some examples. I was like, man, I don't know how you did it, but good on you.
Yeah.
Anyway, he said, no, cause I asked him, I said, what are your thoughts on Candace Owens? And he told me. I was like, okay, I'll give her another shot and I'll go listen to her. And then I dropped in for a week or two, and she was unfolding her latest theories on the Charlie Kirk case, because obviously that's her primary focus right now. And so I'll say this about it, and then I'd love either or both of your opinions. She does kind of flood the zone with all kinds of stuff, right? And she definitely comes across as some version of what you would call, in a pejorative way, a conspiracy theorist, where you're like, man, so a conspiracy theorist, at least the way I would still use it, because these days, a conspiracy theorist is kind of a valid person, because the old joke, the only difference between a conspiracy theorist and the truth is 6 months. But there's still there's this element of the conspiracy population where there's no satisfying them. They're just going to keep throwing stuff at them, and no matter how many questions you answer or how you respond to it, they're never satisfied. There's kind of that version of that person I think you're familiar with. You're like, they're just going to keep arguing with you. They're never going to come around and say, well, that's a good point. I'm satisfied with that. However, so there's an element of that with Candace. However, having said that, the 2 weeks that I listened to her before she went on her extended vacation she brought up a lot of stuff that I think at least deserves some sort of response. Like, she's like, hey, what about this, and this? Everything she's listed in that regard, like, good questions. I don't know if there's any validity to that, but I at least want responses to it. They're good points. And her latest theory, which I'm sure you're aware of, the exploding mic thing, I don't know. She presented pictures and a whole thought process and a bunch of stuff that I'm like, I'd like to see someone investigate that. And she even would say, hey, maybe I'm wrong. She's basically saying, prove me wrong. Here's the evidence. Here's the pictures. Here's how I got here. Just respond. Just somebody respond to this.
Yep.
Look into it.
Well, I think what's even more, I don't have the word. What's even more, all the lies that people have been telling, right?
Yes, that too. All the weird interviews and stuff.
Well, yeah, all the weird interviews, all the lies that the TPUSA people have been, I think that's even more intriguing and more. Yeah, I think that's the word. More like that to me is like, yeah, why are these people lying? Because they're obviously lying. She's like, she will throw it out there like, hey, so shortly after he died, she was like, hey, there was this meeting in Long Island. A whole bunch of people were there, blah, blah, blah. She went on and on and on about it. And TPUSA said, she's lying. That didn't happen. Blah, blah. And then she put out the text messages.
Right.
Like, of all the people that said she was lying, they all, you know what I mean? Every single one of them were on that text thread. And so everyone is demonizing the woman who is actually telling the truth and bringing this to light.
Well,
wait a second. Like, how is this? Like, why is this happening? Oh, because they don't want this brought to light. They really don't want this brought to light. So, yes, I think her bringing this stuff up, and even if she's asking questions, and that's people, it's another way people just dismiss her. Oh, she's just asking questions, as if she's just coming up with stupid shit just to say. But no, she's actually coming up with legitimate theories, because people are feeding her information. And one of the persons that was feeding her information, especially those text messages, was inside TPUSA. So
oh wow.
Yeah,
okay,
so this is happening. Yeah. So she's not just asking questions. She's bringing receipts. And I think she's getting dismissed as a conspiracy theorist or a wackadoo, but I think that's just an op. The op is that they're just making her look really, really bad, but she's actually bringing up legitimate questions.
Well, and so do you listen to her consistently?
I do not, actually.
Okay. So yeah, there's been lots of interviews and lots of storytelling in these interviews that just they're either inconsistent or the stories just don't make sense at all. I won't get into the details. You can just go listen to her show. But the other thing that she brought up that she unfolded in detail, and that's the thing, she always explains, one, her thought process, and then two, she usually has some, I don't know, I'm going to use the word evidence loosely, but she has some sort of evidence as to why she thinks that. And I'd never heard the story about Erica Kirk's connection to Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah. Crazy.
I'd
right?
never heard that.
It's so crazy.
It's insane. Right?
Yeah.
And so she's bringing up legitimate things that are provable, and I just want someone to respond to those, because to me,
hang on, there's a reason though. Like she's making it easy in some regard to have this, not the left, obviously, because the left's not who she's battling here. It's the right. She's battling the MAGA and the bootlickers of the official stories and the FBI's and what have you. And she's making it easy in that regard, because this is, if this was about simply avenging her friend, shouldn't most of this been wrapped up like 6 months ago? Like a lot more bombshells should have fucking dropped with all these receipts. And she's played this out like it's a soap opera. Like, you can't miss next week organ music, because this bombshell is going to drop. Like, I get it. More information's going to come to light. I get that. But it shouldn't play out perfectly like a fucking soap opera and have this contingency long-term plan of getting viewers to come back every week. I agree. A lot of the receipts have been legitimate. Don't get me wrong, but
that was. If you remember, that was.
I get it.
When Candace Owens first came up in our private chat, that's exactly the accusation I made about her. If you remember how I talked about her, I was like, the problem I have with Candace Owens is boom, 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 and it was basically what you just explained, right? Yeah. But I hadn't listened to her show. But that's exactly the problem I had with her. Is that all she's really doing is doing it for clicks or ratings or whatever. That's what I said at the time.
I don't think that's the case. I don't think it's as bad as Tony's making it out to be. Maybe it is. I'm not sure it is, because I don't listen to her every week. I honestly, there's a lot of shows. There's multiple shows I listen to that do support her and listen to her. They like play clips from her podcast and that type of thing. So, I feel like, though, we shouldn't be demonizing a person that's bringing up good receipts, who's bringing up good information.
Agreed.
We shouldn't be demonizing that person. We should be demonizing the people that do have the receipts but aren't bringing them forward. Right? Like,
I agree.
You know, so TPUSA and the FBI and whoever paved over the crime scene in the second day after the shooting happened, like that's an issue, and I feel like we should be demonizing them and not necessarily Candace, because like where she is digging for this information, and maybe she's soap opera, you know, she's making a soap opera, which is like, I get it, like, you know, she still has to make a living. I don't like it, I don't love it, but in the same respect, you know, if she's getting good information and she's bringing it to light, then I'm all for it.
Well, Brendan, I and again, this is a great example of something I've come around on. I don't know that she's doing it on purpose to draw it out and be dramatic and that whole thing. The reason I don't think that is because she's not an investigator or a big journalism outfit. She's literally a person. I mean, like, she's not like Alex Jones, where she has a huge organization of people. So she can only, basically, she's kind of crowdsourcing. I mean, her method is to crowdsource using her viewer, listener, fan base, whatever you want to call it. And she has sources, and she's got her listeners and followers, but she's not a big organization, a journalistic or investigative organization, right? She's not a PI. She's not any of these things. Right. So she can only follow up on and follow through and report on and bring these things to the show as she gets them. Right. So she's not even like TMZ. Like
I don't know. I don't know. Does she have people in her employ? I don't know. I really don't know.
I believe she's got to have a whole team on. There's no way.
Hang on. Let me clarify.
Okay.
Because does she have a USB mic and a single camera and she's doing all this herself? No, of course not. She has a team of people that help her produce her show. What I'm getting at is that she's not a big investigative outfit or a big journalism, organization, or Alex Jones, or who really do have, or TMZ, or who's the James O'Keefe. Like she's not that. Like she's literally just a woman in her mid-30s that became a really popular podcaster that had her friend get assassinated. So you understand the difference I'm trying to explain?
Yeah. No, I get it. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. Maybe she does have people that she sends out to go, ask more questions.
I'm just responding to Tony, how he's saying how she's she's feeling it out and creating this drama soap opera effect.
Yep.
Again, it's the gravity of the situation, because it was such a public and put on display assassination of someone who was just so, not even controversial, but prominent would be a better word, in the public eye when it came to politics and hot topics.
Oh, well, definitely prominent. Like he helped get Trump elected the second time. Like
absolutely.
He full on, that organization was key to him getting reelected.
Yes. No agreed, 100%. Yeah. And as important as he was when that happened, the immediate fallout, she was like irate, pissed, and rightfully so. This is someone who she's had a very public, professional relationship. Some other kinds of conspiracy theorists would theorize that they might have had something more than that, but those people are just stupid. So anyway, what I'm saying is I just don't love how hot under the collar she got immediately, which was totally believable, because obviously she's pissed. Her friend's been murdered. She wants to get to the bottom of this. Totally legit. And then the way it's played out, like, if this was just simply about that, if this is simply, I want to avenge my friend, why aren't we getting it? Like now, because now we're getting to these preliminary hearings, and I don't know. I didn't get to watch much of it. I'm not unpacking it because I'm like, there's not going to be much that we're going to gain here. The people that want to believe the official story are going to love this, and the people that don't accept it are going to probably just dismiss it anyway. So these are pretty much pointless anyway. But that being said, like, I don't know. Like, it doesn't feel authentic this many months down the road for her to continually say, I'm going to get to the bottom. I get it. But if you have more, if this is about avenging your friend who was murdered in very public fashion, and not about getting clicks, you would drop the information, steamroll the information, expose it, not trickle it down. Well, I'm sorry, but that's true.
If I may, a couple of things, because that's a good point. That's fair. One, that murder took place 10 months ago.
Exactly.
I know. That sounds like a long time. However,
it is.
With her resources compared to, say, I don't know, the FBI, how is a person like her with her resources supposed to solve this or come up, and
I'm not asking her to solve it, but she's doing a very good job of getting information that the public's not privy to.
But I don't
You're telling me that the source is like the actual culprit here in terms of how they're leaking. Like, I'm only going to give you this once a week so you can get the clicks.
Do you listen to her show?
I catch highlights off and on, and I have not done it a lot in the recent couple months because it's just kind of,
I get it.
Like I said, it really got to the point where I'm like, I don't feel like this is genuine anymore. And not to say I'm like believing the full official story by any means, but at this point, it feels like we should have more, and she should have something damning. If that was going to be the end game here,
does. She's presented a bunch of stuff.
She has presented a lot, and I agreed. Like, but nothing since like when it first broke has been like, oh my gosh, this is the smoking gun. And she's not
Well,
going to go on the podcast one week and say, this is it. Next week, smoking gun. Tune in, folks. She's not going to do that. That's
well,
not going to happen. Because if she does
I've only
that,
listened
she's
to
dead.
her. Yeah, I mean, I only maybe, but I only listened to her, for a couple weeks before she's now disappeared on an extended break. But I don't know what you'd be referring to, because she seems genuine to me, and she seems like she's unpacked in the 2 weeks that I gave her some time, and I'm going to give her more time just to see how it unfolds and really get a real impression of her. But
Yeah.
just in the time that I listened, she shared a bunch of stuff that I think sounds like what you're asking her for.
Sure.
But I don't know. You'd have to listen and you'd have to form your
No,
own
I
opinion.
need to go back. I need to get caught up on some of her finer points. I do.
But-
I admit that. But again, I'm not gonna. I got to the point where I'm like, I'm not gonna get strung along here. Like, I'm not along for the drama right here. If this is about solving something that's a farce, I'm all for it, and I want to know, because I think we deserve that, and I think he deserves that.
My impression of her from the couple weeks that I listened to her, she's doing what you're asking her to do.
Well, good. I hope so. So I'm.
Yeah. Now
I'm
you
willing
may
to hear
listen
it
to
out.
it and
I'm not turned away from her. I'm not going to say I'm totally I'm stepping away, but I don't need the theatrics with it. I want the information. That's what I want. I care more about the information than I do her vengeful sorrow story at this point, because I just at one point don't believe it. I'm not saying I don't believe the receipts, because I've believed a lot of them. So I want those more than anything else.
For what it's worth, because remember, I went back and revisited her as a skeptic, because my buddy said you need to give her another shot, and I'm a skeptic, and the way I received the information during that time that I listened, it seemed like really solid stuff. But having said all of that, I'd actually like to take the Candace Owens topic in a different direction and get your opinion on something, because for everything we just said, and for the opinion that I have currently, my buddy, who I'd like to have on the show, he brought up an interesting point about Candace Owens in a recent phone call I had with him that really raised my eyebrow. And he made, first of all, do you guys know who her husband is?
Not a clue.
Oh, yeah, I should. God, no.
I don't need it.
But it's kind of no, go ahead. Who is it?
He's we'd have to pull it up, and you'd have to,
he's
a faction, but he's a very wealthy, connected guy. He's like
British businessman, former Parlor CEO George Farmer. They married in 2019, have 4 children, and he's also the son of British Lord Michael Farmer. Remember the UK House of Lords?
Yes. So let me just throw this chum into the water, and you guys can do what you want with it. My buddy said, I mean, I like Candace. However, I don't really trust anybody, including her, if they're associated or especially married to somebody from the elite class like that.
Well, there you go.
So
there you go.
And speaking of throwing stuff out there and demanding a response, I'd like to hear somebody confront her with that and have her respond to that. Because he's not just a rich guy. He's a rich, elite, connected guy with an eyebrow raising resume, so to speak. Like, go dig into him.
Thing. It's
into him.
That's why I can't get invested in most politicians, even if I want to believe the things they're saying, and even not just politicians, but the talking heads too, because it all boils down to something, right? Like, they wouldn't be allowed to be in a place of prominency if they didn't have some kind of connection, some skeletons in their closet.
Correct.
And it's all just fucking theatrics, and that's what drives me nuts here.
The irony of
and it is. It's irony. You're right.
She's literally married to and is pregnant with the 4th child with somebody from that group.
Yeah.
Okay, but like I would say, that's fair. That's a fair. It's fair to bring that up. However, if she weren't bringing receipts with the shit that she were saying, then I'd be like, yeah, that's
right.
like something's up right here. Like she's just saying shit, and it's not amounting to anything. But she's actually calling out liars, and they're and then proving that they're liars. I don't care who she's married to at that point. I really don't. There's a reason that they're lying, and there's a reason that they're demonizing her. If they weren't demonizing her, and that, I think that would be completely different. Um, the preliminary hearing, they spent half a day demonizing Candace Owens. Like, why?
Because she was saying the opposite of the official story.
Yeah,
That's why.
Yeah.
I mean, that's literally the only reason why.
Well,
yeah, but I mean, still, why even bring her up? Like if you have enough evidence to put Tyler Robinson away, why even bring her up?
Because and scene.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So-
But I mean, but again, like, that's my point. I think it's valid to say, okay, like, why she's married to this really connected guy. However, she's actually bringing receipts to what she's saying. So until that stops happening, I'm not going to dismiss her at all. I'm really, even with the fact that she's married to that guy. Then,
Well, a couple of things. One, a 5-day preliminary hearing to establish probable cause is absurd. You could literally do that in 15 minutes.
you should be able to do that in one hearing.
Yeah.
Well, but I mean, and that single
do that.
hearing could
Yeah.
literally be the testimony of one guy for 10 or 15 minutes. You could be done. Like, that's really the tradition of a probable cause hearing. So that's ridiculous. And I've heard a full explanation because Megyn Kelly did day by day coverage. So I got the perspective of an attorney. I understand the strategy. And plus Megyn Kelly has a full true crime channel, and she's got a bunch of really, really good attorneys that she brings on in a panel discussion day after day. So I've heard all of it. I get it. But still, it could have been done in a very brief, like a 30-minute, 1-hour hearing. The other thing is that's the other frustrating thing that did come up in our private chat is, I mean, there's no way that the official story narrative holds up. Like, there's just no way. There's no way.
Nope.
Now I again, listening to all the coverage of the preliminary hearing, like, I don't know, like they filled some of the holes, but it still doesn't make complete sense to me.
Well, again, you're supposed to have probable cause to hold somebody. Like, you can't just hold somebody.
That's right. That's correct.
Probable
right.
cause, right?
Mhm.
Someone who's actually arrested people, this guy, right? Like, you can't just put handcuffs on somebody, throw them in jail, and be like, I'll prove it later.
Right. That's
that
right.
doesn't work. Like, that doesn't work. So,
Right.
yeah. The idea that this is supposed to take 4 or 5 days for a preliminary hearing is just
That's absurd.
It's
No,
absurd.
it's theatrics. It's 100% theatrics, and it's just
And
trying
honestly, it's more
trying to
obscene.
give the propaganda machine a chance to churn out the people that want to hear it a chance to pump out their defense of it on social media but that's what it is, and it's true, because what happened as soon as they started slowly bleeding that shit out, you started seeing it and hearing it right away. Well, guys, but you didn't see this. Here's what's really going on. You're stupid if
Right.
you don't believe it.
They're treating it
It
like
has
a
to
like a
marinate.
trial. Yeah,
Yes.
but they're also treating it like a trial, and the trial's not going to happen for maybe a year from now.
That's crazy.
Like, they may not even rule on.
Fuck's
The
sake.
judge already said he's not even going to make a ruling on this hearing until September. Did you know that?
And that dude's supposed to be held in jail until then.
Well, of
That's
course.
brilliant.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
that's right.
yeah.
That's right.
Crazy. He didn't admit to the crime. Self in, but he didn't admit to the crime.
Well, that's not
Yeah,
true.
he
Actually.
did. He sent it. Text,
No, he-
allegedly.
What do you mean he did? What do you mean by that? Because he confessed 5 different times.
Yeah,
Allegedly,
Like-
he confessed.
like a dozen different ways.
not
What-
to the.
What do you mean by that?
Well, he didn't confess to the actual police department. He just turned himself in, right?
No, I think he confessed there too.
Mhm.
That was
To
one
his
of
parents.
No, I don't
And
think
his
he
lover.
confessed to his parents. No, so that's one of those things that's kind of like in limbo, like because they said that he may have turned himself in a lot earlier because they put a FOIA into the police department and said like what time did he turn himself in because some people say that he turned himself in at like 8 p.m. and he may have turned himself in at 3 p.m.
I haven't
So
heard that. I didn't know that.
yeah,
So
Baron Coleman, there's a podcaster I was listening to who's also a lawyer. He said that there's a good possibility that he turned himself in because he was part of a conspiracy that just like this is speculation completely, but he turned himself in because he didn't want to be fucking murdered because he will because he probably helped with it but probably didn't do it, but he said that he had a connection that said that he was pretty sure that Tyler Robinson turned himself in much earlier than they're actually saying that he did. So when they FOIA'd the jail for the footage, they were like, "Oh, we don't have to give that to you." And then by the time they said that, "Oh, we actually do have to give that to you," but we deleted it. So, so
Right.
So, but then him actually admitting to the crime, as I'm understanding it, I'm not sure if this is true. I do not know. I really don't know. From what I've heard though, is that he didn't actually admit to killing Charlie Kirk.
Well, this is what we've got.
That's not actually
this is what
did it-
Gemini says. Gemini, I asked, did Tyler Robinson admit to killing Charlie Kirk? Pretty cut and dry question. Gemini said, yes, Tyler Robinson confessed to killing conservative political activist Charlie Kirk. During preliminary court hearings in Utah, prosecutors presented extensive evidence detailing Robinson's multiple admissions of guilt. Here it lists them. Confession to his partner/roommate. They played a recorded police interview with Robinson's former romantic partner, roommate, Lance Twiggs. Twiggs states that the day after the shooting, Robinson tearfully confessed to the assassination inside their apartment and expressed regret, stating he wished he hadn't done it. So, okay, we have this recorded tape of Lance Twiggs saying a second-hand account of the interaction. Got it. Then text messages and notes. Text messages presented by prosecutors showed Robinson admitting to the crime, stating he had targeted Kirk because he had enough of his hatred. This was the thing that we got almost immediately.
Yeah, those were the text messages that no one believes because
that nobody believed in
predict.
their right mind.
Yes,
terrible. Okay. And the timeline sucked on those. So
yeah.
Oh, hang on. Pause on that if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I've heard again from all the coverage this past week. I've heard all of the text messages during that part of the conversation. When they're in context, those text messages don't sound strange. It's just that what is usually you're getting piecemeal just those 2 or 3 text messages, and everybody goes, "Oh, those are weird. Nobody talks like that." But if you would have heard all of the text messages for the first time, when I heard them all in context with all of them, those didn't stand out to me.
No, because even when we talked about it, like right after,
I heard the full page of them, and I was like, wow, that's
we read the whole page back.
We read the whole
thing.
thing.
And I did.
You didn't. We didn't because we didn't have them back then. There's stuff that came out this last week in more context that changed my mind on that.
Okay.
Well, link it to me. We can piece it together. But
I can't.
Then they've also got the handwritten note, I guess, from underneath his keyboard stating, I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk and I'm going to take it. And then finally, confession to his father, according to law enforcement in the court details.
That was
Robinson
destroyed.
Also confessed to his father, a 27 law enforcement vet who subsequently cooperated with authorities to turn him in. But this is apparently just a verbal admission of guilt. So we still have nothing. There's no instance of him on record.
Yeah. To
saying, So,
but you're dismissing all of those.
No.
Well, you've got 2 separate secondhand accounts of him admitting to it, plus a handwritten note and a text thread.
Well, it's sworn testimony.
Oh.
Well, I mean,
I don't care.
That's what I'm saying. So you're dismissing all of those.
I would like to hear him say it. I don't think that should be that hard. If he's willing
Well,
to
he's not
admit
gonna-
to it,
I know, but all we've
he
had is a
turned himself in. Why won't he admit to it?
I know, but all we've had is a preliminary hearing to determine probable cause. That's not going to require his testimony. He's not going to give testimony in a
No, but I'm
preliminary
saying like he didn't admit to the cops that he did it. That's what I'm saying. Like he did not admit to that he did it. He like the text messages he sent to his boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever the fuck they are. That was suspect, but you're saying it's not if you read the whole thing. Got it. I didn't hear that he admitted to his parents that he did. I did not hear before. The note that he left to, again, his boyfriend, girlfriend, whichever it is, I heard that was not actually like that note was destroyed and not actually visible at the time that the police arrived. So maybe that.
But now it is apparently.
Now it
I saw
is
a picture of it. I thought last week.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well,
So-
then he confessed to his partner in person too at their apartment before he turned himself in the day.
That was the first point. Which again, they have a video recording of the roommate saying that this story.
That's actually hearsay, and
Okay, but okay, so Brendan, let's just say that he did confess while under custody after being arrested to the police.
Yeah,
we've invalidated confessions before, so you could dismiss that too. You could say it was done under coercion, it was done unlawfully, he was on drugs. Like you could dismiss that like the rest of them. Like what's the difference whether one of the confessions is to the cops? Because you could dismiss that just as easily.
Of course, I'm just saying that the ones.
If there's no record of it,
he's not saying it himself. Then the rest of it is hearsay. So which is technically not admissible in court. However, because he hasn't made an official confession, right? Like, so it's hearsay. It's not an official.
I wouldn't say it's here. I mean, it
is hearsay. It's hearsay. It's someone saying something that someone else said. That's hearsay.
Okay, but my point, and I think he might have also confessed on the Discord server too, didn't he?
There's also
remember.
Depending on when he was actually booked and actually had access to.
No, I heard him dispel that. I heard him talk through that too.
Okay.
So, but that was my question. That's what I was asking you guys. Is so. All of the alleged confessions we can refer to them. You guys are saying you're dismissing all those. You don't think that those.
I don't think it's enough. I mean, it's just. Again, like a couple of them sound too convenient, and the others are, like you said, Brendan, hearsay at best.
Okay, but like I just said, if he had an official on the record confession of the police, those get invalidated all the time.
If he had access to his phone and he threw it on Discord, and the police have access to it, then that's technically a confession. So
but they also had. Yeah, right, but we also talked about text messages from him to his partner. So what I heard was that they got those times wrong. That he actually was not in custody when he posted that on Discord.
Okay,
of course they got him wrong after the fact.
But that's the point that I keep raising in this conversation. Is you're saying one by one, you're just saying that doesn't count, that doesn't count, that doesn't count, that doesn't count.
No, I'm saying was like that the timestamp didn't match, and you're saying it does. If it does, then he's screwed.
I heard them this past week clear that up because I had the same question, and they addressed that specifically.
Okay, then if they cleared that up, then okay. I didn't watch the preliminary hearing. So.
No, I didn't watch it either. I'm like I said, I'm hearing reporting. Just like
the way I took it was they tried
who's,
to make
who's doing the preliminary hearing. That's what the reporting that you're listening to. That's what I would request. Because honestly, if you're listening to anything mainstream at all, then I honestly wouldn't trust it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I don't know. It seemed like they're trying to make the timeline kerfuffle make sense retroactively, but it doesn't matter because if at the end of the day, if he's the guy. Whether he's the guy or not, it really doesn't matter because he's the guy now, and that's not going to change no matter how this unfolds. So it really doesn't matter. We can speculate all day whether he did it or not. I've speculated, and I speculated early on, that I think there may have been more than one person involved in terms of who actually would have taken a shot. I think that still holds
Well,
up
okay, so
considering now. So, but it won't matter in the end. He's going to go down for this, and that's going to be the end of it.
yes. Okay, so I would say the exact same thing. I think Tyler Robinson, whether he's the guy or not, is going to go down for it, and he'll probably get the death penalty. But the one thing that they did bring up that I don't know if it'll. Again, the problem with this is that it's a preliminary hearing. They're not even going to. The judge isn't going to rule on it until September, and then months and months later, we're going to do all of this again in the form of a prolonged trial. That's going to take forever. So we're going to be talking about this over a year from now, probably.
That's the problem.
But yes, that's right, and I agree because we're going to go through all of that and have all of that discussion if we're willing to do it, only to have him get sent down the river on this anyways. But they did bring up one thing that we haven't talked about yet, and that is that there was a bullet casing from a different gun on the roof of a different building. And the way that they explained that is they said that it was a law enforcement officer that cleared his gun. And that's why that was there.
Oh, how about the fact that they didn't find a bullet casing from his gun?
Yeah.
Right. So
and how about the fact that the responding officer that got on the roof, his camera magically turned off as soon as he got on the roof?
Right. Oh yeah, no, we can
list
dozens of things.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like we can sit here and say like, oh yeah, like yeah. So I'm saying that he's. Let me my position. Period. Was he involved in something? Probably. Did he pull the trigger? Probably not. He's probably the patsy. If anything, he's probably the patsy. I think 100%. That's where we're at. There was another a ring camera who captured his car, and the person who owns that ring camera said, "Oh yeah, I saw that car." And the guy that was driving was bald, and he had 3 other people in the car, and that was allegedly his car.
And he was black too, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's something like that. And it was like, oh, wait a second, but they said that was just Tyler Robinson's car.
That was Lawrence Fishburne. Why? What the hell?
Like, what the hell? Yeah,
it was Sam Jackson. Tony, come on.
Well, that's racist.
This is the Matrix.
Morpheus. Well, you said Lawrence Fishburne. They're both black.
Morpheus.
Okay, Chris thought it was Nick Fury.
Yeah, what the hell?
Whatever.
I thought it was Vin Diesel. So
crazy.
Who, by the way, is not named Vin Diesel. That's not his real name.
Crazy.
Either way, I think Tyler Robinson
would have been a cool one.
Involved. Is he the trigger man? I doubt it. I highly doubt it.
Well, so let me. I've got a couple other things to ask you guys.
Mm-hmm.
One, that wasn't that far of a shot, right? It wasn't that far. It was decently close, right? And
it was far enough.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm getting at is he didn't have zero shooting experience. So is he, in your opinion, is he an experienced enough shooter to hit Charlie Kirk from where he was at?
Given the distance and the caliber that we're alleging he used? If we're just talking about the vantage point, the caliber, and his experience, yes. But I think he was shooting for the forehead. I
don't know how experienced he is.
I don't either. I think he was just familiar enough and had taken some practice shots.
No. It sounds like he's gone hunting with his family before.
Like, yeah, but you go hunting 2 or 3 times. Like, I don't. What does that mean?
Yeah. If his family hunts, he's probably been hunting several times.
Listen,
that can mean anything.
Shooting a gun is it's a thing that you'll lose if you don't do it constantly, right? Like accuracy with a firearm is something that is just it takes practice. It's like golf, right? If you don't constantly do it, you will not get good at it. You will not stay good at it.
Yes.
If you just shoot every now and then, will you get lucky? Sure. Are there naturals out there? 100%.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't constantly do it, if you're not a natural, if you're not just like a savant, you're done. Like you if you don't do it all the time, you just will not. You're not good. You're not going to be good. It's
Okay,
so
so I got Tony down for a maybe or a yes, and I've got you down for a no.
I've only got it as a maybe because I think if you take out all the extenuating factors of climbing up with the disassembled weapon, reassembling the weapon, take that out. Vantage point, distance, caliber, and prior experience shooting a little. Yeah, he was looking for a fucking dome shot though, and caught him in the neck.
How do you know he
That's
wasn't
probable.
How do you know he wasn't looking for a chest shot?
Why would he be no? Because if he's trying to make a statement, if you're trying to take somebody out in broad daylight in a public forum like that, and you take the initiative and you have the balls to do something like that, you're looking for a headshot between the eyes to make the biggest impact.
But why
possible.
couldn't a headshot
That's
end
just a
in his neck?
sociopath fucking mentality. It just is. There's no way he was going to try to take a chest shot.
But what?
No,
but why-
because this was fueled by hate. This is fueled by hate. You're not going to risk catching him somebody in the shoulder. You're going to shoot for the head. Just you're going for the head. That's what you're going to do.
But why couldn't a shot to the neck be a missed shot to the head?
That's what I'm saying. The shot to the neck was a missed shot to the
Yeah,
head.
yeah.
If we're taking all these things
Okay,
out of the picture,
Yeah.
and he has enough experience with a weapon and he can make that shot a little bit, he was shooting for the head and caught him in the neck.
But
I,
but it
he
seems like
has.
you're really a no.
if you're a real hunter though, you're shooting for center mass.
That's what I was saying.
You're shooting for vitals.
That's
He's
what I
not a
was
real hunter though.
I know, but his goal was to kill him.
I'm just saying if you're a hunter.
Yeah, but this was emotionally fueled. This wasn't this wasn't somebody who was calculated. This wasn't this wasn't a sniper by any means. This is a guy that was allegedly fueled by hatred.
Okay, right.
A push narrative by a political agenda.
But let me ask
Who
you
wanted to
again,
make
'cause
a statement.
let me ask you again, because then I've got one more question that I want your opinions on. So it sounds like both of you are down for a no. You're really down for a no, right?
Mostly
Either
a
one of you-
no.
Under the circumstances, neither of you think that Taylor.
I'm not going
Colorado-
to say that it's an impossibility because
Not impossible.
Yeah,
I'm not.
well,
saying
you could
impossible.
make he
The
could make
likelihood.
this shot. Yes.
I'm saying I
likelihood-
don't know I'm saying I don't know how much he's been shooting with that rifle.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like so if he shot with it quite a bit, then yeah, I would say he's familiar.
And it would have to be that specific.
It's not even his gun;
rifle.
it's his grandfather's gun. So how
That's
often
the
did he shoot
point.
it?
Okay, I'm just saying, like, so put me down for a no or put me down for a maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Fact of the matter
That's
is,
all I'm saying. I'm saying the likelihood is you're down for a no.
well,
in
I
all
don't. Again, I don't know because I'm saying if how do I know he didn't practice with that gun every?
Brendan, this isn't sworn testimony. I'm just saying
I
throw out a yes
know,
or a
I'm
no.
This isn't a preliminary.
No. I'm just saying, like, I'm just saying that, like, we don't know. We don't know that
I
he.
know we don't know. This is speculative conversation.
I know. That's what. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, how do I say yes or no if I don't?
Because
we
there's
don't
no risk
know.
of being wrong. You could just speculate, give an answer, a yes or no.
Okay, but I'm just saying, like, you saying, like, we know that he's shot guns before. Like, well, that's wonderful, but we don't know.
I'm saying, in your opinion, based on what you think you know, the likelihood is yes or no. Could he make that shot? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't know how you even say yes or no to that because we don't know what his training is. We don't know.
Based on what you do know, and
I
speculate.
don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't. Yes, maybe
So-
if he practiced with that rifle or a rifle every other week, then yes, he could make that shot. If he didn't, then no. There you go. That's my answer.
That's very qualified. Okay, so
Of
let me.
course, it's qualified because you can't not qualify it.
I know, but there's nothing riding on this conversation.
I know.
You could literally speculate and just give a black or white answer. Like, what's the difference? You could just say, yes, I think he could, or no, I don't think he could, given the information that I have.
I don't have enough information to make an either.
Given the
either
information
or.
you have, even if it's limited.
I literally don't know how much he's been shooting. So how the fuck do I make an answer? That's what I'm saying.
Well, then count that as information you don't have.
So So what? Okay, so do I assume that he's been shooting every week since he
Make
was
whatever
12?
assumption you want. Make whatever assumption you want.
Okay, that's my point, Chris. Like, how do I fucking make an answer?
Like you're saying the same thing.
Yes, I know. That's what we're saying. The same thing.
No,
I'm
we're
like,
not
how
saying
do
the
I
same
make an
thing.
answer if I fucking don't know? And you're like, yeah, just fucking guess.
Hang on. Let me clear this up.
Yes.
What information do you have?
I have fucking none. I have
Yes,
no
you do.
idea
Yes,
how
you
often he's
do.
shooting. Yes, that's my point.
No. Hang on. You don't have that information. You
Yeah.
don't have an answer to how often is he shooting. Dismiss that. Who cares? Who cares if you know how much he's shooting? Who
Okay,
cares?
that's what I say.
That's
That's
the
why I
point.
dismissed all the extenuating, getting up on the building, taking apart the
But that's
rifle,
information
all
you
that.
do have. That's information you do have.
And that's why I was saying, if you take all of that out, yes, he can make that shot. If you add that all in, it makes it highly more unlikely that he can make that shot. Any shot, really.
Okay,
at
so
that
you're speculating no.
most,
Given the information you have, you would speculate.
but I would
yes.
quantitative and add a lot of caveats.
Okay.
Because there's a ton of caveats here, and it's impossible to dismiss them.
Of course there is. But okay, so I'll answer my own question. Based on
Please
me hearing
do.
you guys, based on you guys discussing whatever could or couldn't affect his ability to shoot it, I would speculate no, he could not make that shot. There. I would say
Well,
probably.
you're a normie piece of shit. Holy crap.
Okay.
Wow. Unbelievable.
How am I a normie if I'm saying he didn't make the shot? Okay, so then my follow-up question is, let's say he did make the shot. Let's say he did fire a bullet out of that gun. It hit Charlie Kirk in the neck. The next question, of course, that I want to address is the one that our friend in our chat speculated was that, oh, no, the bullet definitely could go into Charlie's neck and not exit out of his neck.
That's ridiculous.
Well, hang on. Because I came at that question, honestly, I have zero knowledge of guns or ballistics or bullets or whatever. And our friend, which he's not the only one, I heard someone else explain this, is that it depends on what type of point bullet it is. And actually, I have had a little bit of exposure to that, so I do know that the same bullet can have different points. I was like, oh, that's a good point I didn't think about. So if it had a certain point on the bullet, could that cause that bullet not to exit? And I actually took that to ChatGPT because I was going to fire back at him that you're an idiot. There's no way. It doesn't matter what kind of bullet. And even AI said, no, if you have a certain type of bullet, it could have lodged in his neck. What say you?
If you have frangible ammo, but they don't really make frangible ammo for 30-06 anymore, so it would have to be a really old bullet.
I don't even know what that means.
Which would check out if we're talking about a really old round that was sitting with a really old gun.
So it's possible.
What word did you use, Brendan?
Frangible. So frangible means that like the bullet point breaks apart and just
like a hollow point. Hollow point?
No, hollow points expand and mushroom.
Oh yeah, different.
Yeah, they're totally different. Frangible just like breaks apart. It just kind of like the bullet point kind of explodes into whatever target it hits. But even then, I don't know. Even then, a 30-06 round, something's coming out the back. Like
yeah.
Okay, so on this question, you're saying there's no version of a round that could have come out of that gun, except in this one instance, that one exception that would not have exited.
Slim instance.
Yeah, I mean,
there's that one possibility if it's that one type of ammo you just described.
Yeah, but if
more than one, but it's less likely.
Yeah,
like you said, it's older,
less likely. That's just like an round. Like the last time I looked that up, frangible ammo for a 30-06. Every article I looked at said that it was made in like, oh man, early 1900s. So like, or whatever, 19, or was it? I can't even remember what the year was, but it wasn't anywhere near this year. So
sure.
So I find it highly unlikely that there's no exit wound. Highly.
Okay. Tony, you agree with that?
For the most part, yeah, I agree because again, I can't dismiss the exit wound or the entry wound or exit wound when you consider all the factors we just talked about a low experienced sharpshooter who had to unassemble and reassemble a gun that they're barely familiar with apparently ancient rounds from a vantage point that's somewhat okay, and then hit them in the neck and hit it just right that there's no exit point, and all of a sudden the victim is made of steel. It's too on the nose of a magic bullet theory. Like, this is our generation's fucking version of the magic bullet. So wonderful. We got another one of these, and it makes no sense. And we all saw the video footage, and now there's more vantage points of this. So I don't think that helps aid in the cause of, clearly his body stopped this. The trajectory stopped with him. It's a miracle.
Well,
I think that's actually the opposite effect, but whatever.
There was expert testimony that they recovered bullet fragments, but it was inconclusive,
of course,
one way or the other, whether or not it matched.
And we couldn't identify the round found on the other roof to the cop that had the, fuck's sake.
Because if it's frangible, you get bullet fragments, and you
right
get the whole bullet. So of course,
so the only way that it could have entered his body and not exited and resulted in that is that if it's those ancient rounds.
Well, no. There's no frangible rounds made today,
right?
But I'm saying 30-06 frangible round. That's more of like yesteryear. So you get a frangible round, and that, but it could be who knows what caliber, and so you just can't match it to the 30-06 because other round actually happened.
Okay, so
sorry,
he probably didn't hit him in the first place, but if he hit him, it should have come out. And so what happens to his neck when it comes out the other side?
There should have been a much more prominent exit wound that looked a lot less like a small pinhole.
Well, I mean, the little hole that they showed on the video, that was supposed to be the entry wound, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
there should have been a much larger exit wound.
Exit wound on the back of his neck.
Yeah, right. It much more looked at. So I watched the video.
It's disturbing.
When it originally happened. It is very disturbing, and
I don't want to see it again.
And to me, what happened is what we saw was an exit wound. What most people saw in the front, to me, that was an exit wound.
That's what that looked like, and that's why people question the vantage point of the shooter right out the gate.
A tiny exit wound?
No.
Well, that would make more sense than no exit wound.
Watching his neck open up and spew blood, that to me is an exit wound.
Yeah. Because trajectory is pushing the bullet forward. It should not
the
have.
The hole was small. It wasn't a big hole.
In the front of his neck?
Yeah, no.
His neck blew apart. I don't know. I mean, from what I saw in the front, like he just opened up. I mean, to me,
maybe my memory of the video may be bad because I only
watched it. I mean, I didn't see his neck per se. I just saw a whole bunch of blood come out. To me, that was like, oh my god, like.
No, what I remember is it was a pretty small hole, and then you could see blood coming out of a small hole.
Nope. I don't know. That's not the video I saw. Yeah. The video I saw, he just like blood just like was gushing out of his neck.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean it doesn't really matter. I mean this is just one part of the story that doesn't add up, right? You just add it to that bucket.
It's the main part.
To the list. Yeah. Add it to the list.
Right. I mean, and we're not going to get into it because you could just go listen to the show, but really the stuff that Candace unpacked in the 2 weeks or whatever that I listened, the ride to the hospital and the events at the hospital, and none of that made sense. None of it. Like, I don't know if you heard her comments about the story that the one guy gave about when they got to the hospital, because that was ridiculous. Did you hear any of that, Brendan?
No, not at all.
Basically, the one guy got there, and there was conflicting stories or accounts by the TPUSA TP USA guys about what occurred in the car. Did they give him CPR? Did they not give him CPR? How could they possibly give him CPR given how his body was awkwardly laid across those two captain's chairs? Like, that's not even possible. And then apparently one guy claimed, and he's given in a story, maybe to Sean Ryan, about how when he got to the hospital, basically he they put him on a stretcher. I'm talking about the TPUSA guys, no medical staff involved at all. Put him on a stretcher, rolled him into a, some sort of room or treatment room. He got up on the stretcher on Charlie's chest, and found a pair of scissors and cut his shirt off, and because he wanted to prepare Charlie for them to come in with the paddles, and like, that's the story. And then in the meantime, there's no medical personnel around. He found these scissors. No one questioned, hey, you can't put a guy on a stretcher, wheel him through a hospital. No one stopped or was involved officially from the hospital involved in any of these events. This story that he told, but that's the story he told in a recent interview, either with Sean Ryan or somebody else. And of course, her point is like, all of that is a lie. That's not what happens at a hospital when you bring in a guy. That none of that occurred. There's no way any of that occurred. And by the way, where's the camera footage from outside the hospital of them bringing him in, and then all the events you just described inside the hospital? Where's the camera footage of that? Of course, it doesn't exist.
No.
And they're not responding to any of that. And by the way, why wasn't there an ambulance at the event anyways? Why did you have to carry Charlie's body and awkwardly shove him into an SUV?
Why wasn't there a paramedic? Like, not one? Are you serious? Like,
right. Correct.
One EMT?
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. That's right. No medical personnel on site. And then they drove, he claims, in excess of 100 miles an hour down city streets, not the freeway, down city streets to get to the hospital.
Yep.
So all of their stories that they're telling in all these interviews, none of it adds up. And not to mention the fact that two guys are giving accounts of the same thing that are different stories, and no one's explaining, why are you guys telling two different stories?
Oh, Ben Shapiro just claimed that his security team was in contact with their security team during the drive.
When did he claim that? That's insane.
Yeah, just recently.
Why would that even be the case?
I have no idea. I have no idea. But he just claimed that shit. I just heard it on another show. He said, my team was in contact with Charlie Ryan's team during the ride. It was like, why is that?
Yeah, why?
Like, why? Who cares?
Okay, so hang on. I saw this.
He wasn't even friends. He wasn't even friends with Charlie. Like, what the fuck would they be in contact with him?
No, see, okay, I saw this brought up, and this is going to be a whole fucking nothing burger. This is going to get turned into some stupid shit, and that's why I didn't pay any attention when I first saw it. But Ben Shapiro is a fucking whore. So let's just establish that now.
If anyone's grabbing for attention, it's that fucking guy.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a whore too.
Because he's saying his company is doing massive layoffs and hemorrhaging money.
There you go. So of course he's going to say something. Now, that doesn't negate the fact that there probably was communication going back and forth about people that would be in his camp, in Charlie's camp, talking back and forth, discussing, holy shit, they just shot him. Hey, oh my God. There probably was communication. And that's probably all that fucking happened. There was probably like one phone call and a few text messages of people panicking back and forth from both Charlie and Ben's fucking staff or whatever. That's probably where it ends. But we're going to turn this into some big conspiracy theory like, oh, they gave Ben Shapiro the nod. They got him. That's not what it was. It was a couple of fucking calls and texts. I guarantee. Right. Because it is news between people who were colleague-ish. There you go. Yeah. That's all it was. Fair. It's going to get turned into a big nothing burger. And that's why I didn't pay any attention.
It's something if they actually were texting while this was happening. Like, that's something.
How would they not?
It was
how do you not like interact with somebody who would be adjacent to it?
Because there was only four.
I'm saying like, okay, after it happened, you're like, hey, dude, like, hey, you gotta fucking tell your guy. But I'm saying like while they're driving to the hospital, he was saying that they were talking while they were driving to the hospital. That's not happening because the guys that were in that car should have been, if they were in that car, they should have been tending to Charlie and fucking doing what they need.
Who's in the car?
His security team.
Okay.
No,
And
that's not true.
I don't think
actually
that's right.
Candace did one episode where she showed the car and the diagram of where everybody that was in the car and where they were sitting. She went through all that in detail. It wasn't all security team. A lot of it was just staff. It was like 2 or 3 guys inside his circle, his closest staff.
Okay,
staff
but
guys.
I'm saying like who the fuck is either way, it doesn't matter. The
There
fact
was
like they
well,
should have been fucking texting Ben Shapiro. They should have been dealing with Charlie. That's all my point. That's the
well, I'll both
Non-medical people doing
I'll come
what?
I'll come at both directions from what you're saying, Brendan. On one hand, there was a guy in the back seat who went in and out of the back door on his own that sat in the back seat. And there's 2 different accounts. One was that he was helping tend to Charlie. The other one was he wasn't at all. He was back there praying. So there's 2 different accounts about what that guy was doing. So you could, if you wanted to somehow roll this in, you could say that specific guy was texting with somebody from Ben Shapiro's team, if you wanted that to be the explanation. However, the other thing is, and I guess this could fit. They claim that the Candace said that drive at a normal speed is 8 minutes. If you're going 80 or 100 miles an hour, maybe it's 6 minutes. So they're only in the car for 6 minutes anyways, and they're in a complete panic, and they're trying to tend to a guy that's dying.
Mhm.
So, even if there's one guy doesn't have his hands full dealing with Charlie, is he spending that time text messaging? I mean, maybe he's got 6 minutes.
Well,
So
if you go by the accounts, one guy was driving, one guy was navigating because the guy that was driving didn't know where he was going. The guy that was this passenger was navigating, and there was 2 people in the back that were dealing with Charlie. One was actually hanging out of the vehicle because they couldn't close the door. So who the fuck was texting?
How many people are there?
I'm just what's that?
4.
How many people are in?
There's
There's
4.
4.
I believe there was 4.
Is that including Charlie and the driver?
No, Charlie was the 5th one.
Okay, so what you had was driver, shotgun, Charlie, guy tending to Charlie, and then a guy in the very back seat. You had
Yes,
5 people, including Charlie.
and one of them was one guy was hanging out of the vehicle because they couldn't close the door. So they were they were like trying to So no one had the ability to fucking. I'm just saying, like, if someone had the ability to text Ben Shapiro, like, that's a little strange. I'm just saying that maybe they should have their priorities somewhere else. I'm not saying it didn't happen. It may have happened. I'm just saying, like, what the fuck? It probably shouldn't have.
Maybe.
That's all.
I don't know. I'm not disagreeing. I think it seems like it's, but again, you're also talking about a literal trauma situation where
someone
people
who
grasped at straws.
as someone who's been in I've been in some pretty high stress situations. I'm just telling you, your last fucking choice is to be like, oh, I should tell this other guy who might be in danger. I don't know, I don't know, like, you're just
but you've got training. These are political pundit talking head staff.
Well, no,
not even medical personnel.
Some of them are like, no, he said the security team. Like, Shapiro said specifically the security team.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, that was like, he was specific. So I don't know. It was bullshit.
There was
He can be specific and a liar at the same time.
I agree.
He could be specifically lying.
It could be a huge exaggeration. It could have been one.
As far as I know, there was
message,
nobody
and that's
from
it.
a security team in that car, unless the driver or the guy.
Oh, the driver. I think the driver and the navigator were no. All I thought all of them were security team.
No.
Yes, because they picked him up. The security team picked him up and threw him in the Tahoe and drove.
So those staff members are security team. I'm not sure if
so.
that's true. I don't think
so. Okay.
They're not trained security. I don't think so.
I think the people that picked him up were the security team. Yes.
The people that picked him up and put him in the car, or the people that were in the car on the ride?
People that were in the car. The people that picked him up, put him in the car, and got in the car were his security team.
Huh. I thought they played other roles. I thought they played other roles within TPUSA. I didn't know that they were security. I guess they could have been.
That's how I understand it. I could be wrong.
But I mean, they all have backgrounds like being pastors and stuff. They're that's who he has as a security team.
No, I don't know. No, his security team were the people that put him in the vehicle and drove him to the hospital.
But I've heard these people named, and I've heard their roles described, and none of them sounded like security.
Well, then I could be wrong.
Yeah, I could be wrong too. I don't know. Whatever. Add it to the
Yep.
list.
You know what? You know what? I think we've run out of time for banter.
Oh no! Oh no!
When did we start banter?
I do want to say one more thing as we.
Okay,
as we
one
run out
more
of time.
thing. One more thing.
To me personally, and
That
you
was
may
it.
share
You're done. You're done. That was one more thing.
hang on. The frustrating thing for all this is that over the next year and a half, there's going to be a trial. Tyler Robinson's going to get convicted, and we're never really going to find out what happens, no matter what Candace Owens does.
Yep. Agreed. Agree completely.
There you go.
Even though I don't know what his shooting schedule is, and I have no idea what. Okay, here we go. All right. First voicemail. Here we go, folks. Are you ready?
At the 140 mark. Got it.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Hey, did you know I did a cross country trip?
I knew that.
What?
I thought we were going to talk about it. Then
I did
somebody
too.
decided to go. Yeah.
Tune in next week, folks.
Tune in next week.
Thanks, Chris.
Hello, America. It is I, your president, President Peace himself, Donald J. Trump. I am thrilled to hear, I am so thrilled to hear that everyone here on Dad's Worldwide, that's Dad's Worldwide, I'm glad to hear that every last one of you totally supports my incredible peace deal and our push for peace, because I, President Peace, made this happen. And I'm just so glad to hear that all of you, Brendan, Chicken, Tony, the other guy, I'm glad that every last one of you is in 100% support. Glad, just so glad to hear. Phil KOE was just telling me, he was saying, wow, can't believe just how much you guys all support it. So wonderful to hear, wonderful to hear. God bless America. God bless our troops, and God bless peace. So glad to hear that you all support and that I have your vote in 2028.
What?
Let's make America great again. 2028.
MAGA.
I'm not the slightest bit surprised that Mr. President left. I'm the one person he left off that list.
Well, I feel like actually got the most attention specifically.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, adjacently speaking,
it's too bad we're not going to hear from him again.
Yeah,
it's too bad that peace deal didn't actually last.
I was gonna say, since that recorded voicemail,
yeah, this was. I'm sorry, this was back in the middle of June when this happened.
Oh,
because
so a month ago.
Yeah,
how many ceasefires and victories and
39?
resume?
I think
yeah.
39.
Might have spiked the football a little too early.
40 times.
A little too early. Well, yeah. 38 or 40 times. What do we have? 40 times.
Yeah, when you get an excessive celebration flag, but then you do it like 38 more times.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
We should keep a running total for how many times he ends the war.
Oh my God.
So many.
It has to be at like 41 right now, right? Like,
yeah,
it has to be at like
today. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right, here we go.
Huge fans. Yeah.
Second at last. Oh no, not.
Hello, Dad's Worldwide.
Mm.
That's your real name.
It is.
Why is hearing a vicious rumor that you are platforming that evil commie fascist Donald J. Trump?
Mm.
I will not stand for this. I, Chance Joy, spreader of peace, love, and equity, will not stand for this. How dare you platform him? You should be platforming amazing, incredible philosopher, king, queen, Caesar, whatever. Incredible philosophers like Leslie Manbeard.
Yes.
I just can't believe this. I have to go hide my safe space now. I'm afraid I need to spend some time in the safe space after hearing this, but I'm sorry. This microaggression will not stand.
Mike. Oh man, I wish microaggression.
I wish she would have ended with her tagline, because I love it when she screams equity.
Yeah,
equity.
All right. Number 3. Here we go. Sorry, this is third and last. My apologies.
Okay.
Dad, this is your favorite son. Mom wants me to tell you that the voicemail segment leaves a lot to be desired. It's literally you and your friends laughing at each other. We could probably.
I love that she's.
Was that it?
The way to make the show better.
Oh,
Okay, Dad. I love you. I love you.
Oh. I agree. This segment also leaves a lot to be desired, in my opinion, as well.
Best voicemail ever. The fact
Best
that we
voicemail
heard
ever.
Lindsay on that shit.
coaching.
Yep, that was fantastic.
I'm going to apologize on behalf of my own family.
No, please
no,
don't.
I am.
Oh,
I am
it was so
because
great. It was so.
here's how this panned out. Lindsay and I were on a walk yesterday, and she's saying, "I'm like, oh, something, you got to listen to this." And she's like, "Well, I'm getting caught back up," and I'm like, she's like, "Oh, the next one is the one where Brendan's on." I'm like, "Oh, okay, great." And then she makes this offhanded, just completely absurd, ridiculous, just immature comment of, "Oh, just the voicemail segment. You guys are so stupid." Just and I busted out laughing because I'm like, that's the exact gripe that Brendan's wife has.
yeah.
So, you have to leave this voicemail. And I tried to make her this morning, and then that didn't happen. And then I said, I'm going to go downstairs now, get this voicemail left. And then I asked you, was there a voicemail? And you said there's not. So I messaged her and said, get this done now. I'm the man. Something along those lines. And she couldn't even be bothered to do it herself. And we hear in the background her coaching one of my children who I thought had my back.
Yes.
Was like the one that kisses my ass the most.
I was going to say that's totally.
I'm like, whoa, hang on now. Whose side are you on now, pal? Because this is unacceptable. Going to be a lot of heated words.
Thank you for the explanation, because that actually did make me enjoy it even more than I already did.
My wife do chicken shit.
She's gonna listen to this and laugh her ass off. She's gonna be like, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have to tell her to skip to the hour 40 mark, because
well,
everything before this she's definitely not listening to.
If she doesn't typically like our voicemails, then she's gonna have to skip forward another 3 or 4 minutes.
This is on her. This is gonna turn it around.
Hey, did you guys hear that Lindsey Graham died?
Fuck. No, I'd heard that Mitch McConnell died.
No, he actually didn't. He didn't.
And apparently he didn't, but Lindsey Graham did.
Yeah, that was the switcheroo, is that Mitch McConnell was announced dead, and then they're like, no, he's not dead. He's not dead.
It was actually Lindsey Graham.
And then Lindsey Graham actually died, and then I got confused because I thought it was an official announcement.
Yeah.
Mitch McConnell finally did die, and then nope, Mitch McConnell's still not dead, even though we all think he's dead because he's probably dead.
Yeah, there's an AI picture of him in a hospital bed wearing like a flannel shirt, looking more alert than he has in years.
But then Lindsey Graham actually died, which I'm super excited about.
They're saying Mitch fell down and got pneumonia, but now he's fine and better than ever. So that makes sense.
Better than ever.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a lengthy, like 4-paragraph statement he put out, which is about 4 paragraphs more than he's been capable of for a couple.
I was going to say his team. Right.
So,
Joe Biden's not the only one that has an auto pen.
Fuck no.
I had a friend who was a corpsman in Washington D.C. for a long time, and he said that he used to give shots to Senator Byrd, and he's like, the guy was like basically in a coma but still voting. Like he's like, how the
Right.
f- is happening? He's like,
It's just called commitment, Brendan. You wouldn't know anything about
yeah,
it.
that's what it was. He was
Mr.
like,
2 weeks off.
yeah, he's like, but he like he's someone that was just like blown away by. He's like, wait a second. He's like, I'm giving this guy shots all the time, but he's voting every day. But he's like drooling, you know, like he's like the guy's like not with it.
Nuts.
And yeah,
It's nuts.
yeah, it's crazy.
It's horrible. And this is anytime I see a politician suggest term limits, I'm like, yeah, I kind of like this. Oh, spitting fire here, and now I kind of want to vote for you, even if I can't. Like, I want to vote for you. Not that stops anybody in today's day and age. So
There should just be an age limit at some point. Like there should just be like if you
I don't.
if you
It shouldn't come to that.
60, 65, maybe like move on.
65?
Yeah.
What?
You just
That
get
seems
him get him out a little early.
Well, if we had term limits, it wouldn't even come to that.
That's true. Well,
Arguing with 65.
that seems young to me. Maybe 75.
No.
I split the difference. 70.
Okay.
I'm fine with that. Just get him the fuck out.
I mean, it's just because at that point, like if you're 70 and you've been in politics for
That's fair.
45 years, like,
Yeah.
are you really? Is it? Oh goodness, thank God we've got somebody with all this world-class experience, or is it? My God, for 4 decades they've been profiting off of
second
us.
Bought and paid for.
But also, if you're going to do term limits, how many limits? 3, 4?
It
2?
depends on the position.
Senator.
I feel like 3 max. This is just probably too much, honestly.
I mean, that's nearly 2 decades, so that seems reasonable, right?
I think that's probably still too much, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it
What about-
depends.
What about on congressmen with 2-year terms at a time? 5 terms?
No, less.
Less. Okay. 3 for them too? They only get 6 years?
Maybe, honestly.
Yeah. What about you, Brendan?
I think you should not let them do consecutive.
Hmm.
Even a congressman at 2 years?
What if you get a good one?
I don't care.
Then elect another good one.
Yep.
But Brendan,
Too
a
far and few
congress-
between. Yeah.
with a 2-year term, you say they can't serve consecutive terms in Congress?
Yeah, fuck off.
Huh.
Something else. Honestly, I don't think they should get paid $174,000. I don't. They should. This should be actual public service. They should want to do this out of the kindness of their heart.
Yes.
If nothing else, barely get paid.
Yes.
But you already have this problem. but-
Remove that career politician,
Absolutely.
billionaire incentive, and that will in turn save us
Insider trade.
billions.
Get rid of that bullshit. They fucking no fucking salary and lifetime benefits. No, none of that shit. Fucking get rid of all of that and no consecutive terms. Nope.
Absolutely.
So a representative serves 2 years.
Yeah, I don't care. Like it sounds crazy, but yeah, no. Don't do
Can you
it.
get anything done in 2 years?
I don't care. I honestly don't care.
If you're
What is
surrounded by other
government-
people,
What has the government done with consecutive terms that's been worthwhile?
Well,
hope and
that's a-
change.
that
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You just convinced me to continue my
but I mean, seriously, how do you have time?
Yeah.
How do you have time for hope and change in only 2 years? Right.
That's true. That's
But what I-
true.
what I
You
was
can
gonna
only
say,
get a
Brandon,
little bit of hope.
listen, they're not doing hope and change in 10 years. So I don't give a fuck if they serve 2 years and then have to go away.
Okay.
Honestly,
Fair point. Fair point. But I mean, I know. I think I know what you're going to say. But if you just look at their function, like their function is to pass laws, is to legislate.
okay.
Can you really do that on a 2-year term?
Well,
Can you effectively be a one-time 2-year rep and actually
Yes.
effectively craft
Okay,
and pass any kind of legislation?
let me ask you a question.
Okay.
In response to that, what do you think the founders would say to that question?
I have no idea.
Well, they're the ones that wrote the Constitution and put that in place. So, like,
I know, but the same founders didn't put term limits in. So I don't know what the answer to that question is.
Yeah.
So
Well, I think you can definitely get something done in that time frame, considering that if this applied across the board, you wouldn't be battling other career politicians. You'd be working together with people in the same term limit structure as you. Crazy how that would actually limit and dictate what they would be doing in those time frames, and would probably be beneficial to everybody across the board.
if they were only following the Constitution, actually only doing what they're supposed to be doing, then yes, they could absolutely, most likely, do what they're supposed to do within 2 years. Yes, 100%.
Okay.
However, they have taken over so much power, taken over so much authority that they absolutely do not have. Yes, they could not do what they want to do in 2 years because what they're doing is absolute bullshit.
Okay, so that's fair. I agree with all that. But isn't the real problem these days the unelected portion of the government, the permanent bureaucracy?
Yes, agreed. However, our elected politicians are also part of it. But yes, the unelected bureaucracy is,
I think that might be a bigger problem.
way bigger. Yes.
Yeah.
The federal government should not be the largest employer in the United States, and they are.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
All right.
Awesome. Gentlemen. Chris, how can people get a hold of you?
Hey, listen, months ago I didn't have an answer to this question, but thank you to my mentor, Captain Aviator, the International Sex Kitten. I now do have an answer. The answer is just below my name, Linktree/GravityBeard. And like I said at the top of the show, if you're still with us, got a new apartment episode coming out. I've got multiple Ask It Anything episodes coming out. And for the first time in 2 or 3 years, this week today, coming at you.
Woo!
We're very excited.
Hell yeah. International Sex Kitten. How can we get a hold of you?
You can literally only find me here. Like, this is it.
He's not even going to mention his Linktree.
No, it's not even worth it at this point.
He shoved it in my face that we didn't podcast for like a couple weeks, and he did a podcast with his other podcast, and he's like, oh yeah, Dad's Worldwide's not doing it anymore. But now, motherfucker.
One time, all right, one time that happened.
Yeah, maybe you thrown it in my face.
That was months ago. No, this is it. This is it. This is where you can find me, folks. You can go to Linktree/Tony the Rod. You'll probably be highly disappointed in the lack of content across the board over there, because where you're going to find it, the most important hard-hitting information and Tony G related content, it's right here on Dad's Worldwide, folks. That's just it's a cold hard truth. So you don't have to like it, but that's the way it is.
We can't stop. Hold on.
Uh-oh. What?
No, we gotta share this.
Uh-oh.
Yep. Sorry. Here we go.
What? Oh, what happened?
We're holding on here. Hold on. Here we go.
This is surprising.
Look at this.
Oh,
Go listens.
Jeez.
Whoa, hang on.
Holy crap.
What is this?
You see this?
In the last month.
Yes. Oh, you get the fuck out of here. What are you doing? Okay, here we go.
Whoa.
How do you account for this?
Japan 277. Brazil 222.
Whoa.
I talked to a lot of Brazilians on my job sites. I'm gonna count for that one.
I've been teaching a lot of Brazilian jiu-jitsu, so this makes sense.
That makes sense.
I got a Brazilian butt lift recently.
Oh,
I
think that
explains a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
Bangladesh 133. Pakistan. Well, we've been pushing for the peace process, so I think Pakistan knows that. 92. Argentina 84. Colombia.
Well, of our World Cup talk on the show.
Chris likes to hit the bam bam. So 68. 68. Iraq, 65. United States in the middle of the pack. No, sorry, below the middle of the pack.
They come in at 8th.
Like the United States has dropped like 5 spots.
Embarrassing.
8th.
This is embarrassing.
Our
You're
own
right.
home country is in 8th.
Yep.
I can't stand for this.
Kenya is encroaching on the United States.
We're sandwiched between Iraq and Kenya?
Yes.
That makes sense.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, I mean that's weird.
And Venezuela with 38. Oh shit.
Click
Oh
on the
my
United States. Does it have a